Hello everybody and welcome back to our Minecraft Forever world. My name is Bigly Shrunk, and in the last episode we had finally obtained the happy ghast, and in today's episode we will be doing an air temple build for our happy ghast to live in, inspired by Avatar The Last Airbender. So if you enjoyed this video or any other content to do, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out a ton knowing you are enjoying this content, thus further encouraging me to create more content for you. So the one thing that was pointed out to me in the comments in the last video was that I've forgotten to get the new music disc that came out with this update, the Tears music disc, and that is obtained by completing the return to sender function. So basically hitting a ghast with a fireball will now not only drop a ghast tear and the gunpowder, but now we'll drop the brand new music disc. So my goal is just to mosey around and trying to see if a ghast will appear. I'm not gonna, take down the ghast while hovering over the lava, because obviously I won't get the music disc if that, happens. So we're gonna try and lure him in and see what we can do. Oh, I see one right over there. Hopefully we can get him over here and we can just smack him around a bit. Hopefully he's not over lava. Oh, he is defending himself right under a lava pool, so let's try to get him out of that. Yes, okay. Yes! And there it is. Awesome. Woo! Dude, that was way easier than I thought it was going to be. All right, there it is. We got it, and I am super, super excited to listen to it. And we're just going to put that right in there. We're not going to play it quite yet. You'll have to keep watching to figure out what it sounds like. So over the days in between recordings, I have been very hard at work collecting a lot of materials. Now, this is just the bulk of the materials, as you can see. Like, these are just the stuff we need the most of. There's a lot of odds and ends, like some walls and some, campfires and stuff like that. But one more bulk item I need is actually one that's pretty difficult to get, and that is dark prismarine. Now, I do know of an ocean monument that's way off in the distance over there, so I'm going to be cooking up some of these water-breathing potions and have a door packed up with me, and we're going to actually be conquering the ocean monument and taking all the blocks we need down from it. Hopefully, it shouldn't take too long because I do have the aqua affinity on here, so it should be easy peasy. All right, we are approaching. It's going to be good. There's quite a bit of dark prismarine already on the walls, but I will be making more as well. I'm already kind of getting dogged on, which is crazy. Oh my goodness gracious. Jeez, take it easy. Oh my god, I gotta hide somewhere. Holy. Oh man, that was crazy. We just gotta take out all these guys. That's what we gotta do first. But there's one. Ooh, do I get a trim from this? I placed that bed but never even set my spawn. Ah, there you are. Give me... What was that, big boy? Third and final big boy? Yep, there he is. Part of me was really considering, I was like, do I want to get netherite beforehand? But no, I think I did just fine. All right, now that I have all the important stuff, I think it is time to start collecting all of this dark prismarine. Oh my god, that's so much faster. Holy. All right, we're just going to leave all that behind. I'd say that is a very, very successful trip. I don't need a lot of dark prismarine, thankfully. Because all I need is just for some rooftops. But we're done, and that's all that matters. But let me know if I should turn that into a prismarine farm in the future. I actually would not have a problem with that. I'd actually have a lot of fun with that. All right, guys, we are back, and we have been heavy at work gathering all the materials we need for the air temple. But before we do that, we got to listen to what the Tears soundtrack looks like. Okay. This ain't too bad. All right. I think we can work with this. All right. Yeah, let's get to work. my goodness. This thing is incredible. I am so unbelievably proud of it. A lot of this was actually put together on stream here on the channel. So if you don't want to miss out on any future live streams, be sure to hit that notification bell. We would love to see you there. All right, I think it's about time for the tour. However, I did not really think through how to get up there without a happy ghast. I pretty much put all my happy ghast up there and water bucket clutched off the top. Which I gotta be honest, it's pretty on brand for this build because, you know, in Avatar The Last Airbender, which this build is based on, you can't really get up to the air temples without a sky bison. So I guess you really can't quickly get up here without a happy ghast. So we made it up and oh my gosh, just looking up at everything, it looks almost as good as looking at it from the ground. I do love, like, even the subtle design, you know. I chose to go with a very simple block palette here with the bamboo, the prismarine, and the sandstone. But there is some texturing. As you can see, I did mix in some smooth sandstone and regular sand, as well as the buttons and signs to look like protruding bricks and just weathered walls. But starting off, we do have one big platform for our happy guests to hang out at. We got a water pool, not only for them to drink out of, but when we find future happy guests, we will be throwing them in these pools. You know, some wheat here, even though they do eat snowballs, which I will get to in a second. We got the big size tower, the small tower, and the medium size tower. I think the size is great, and I do love the way it's positioned. I thought that was a good idea rather than like doing big, medium, small. I like them sprawled out. I think it looks very nice. Here's one more little big platform here for the happy guests to hang out at. Another pool and another stack of wheat. Now, the area is also riddled with these little houses, as you can see, these little shacks. Now, whoa, that was scary. Full disclosure, none of these houses actually have interiors. Some even have missing blocks, apparently. But hey, who said we were done? That will be the next task of today's episode. We will be adding interiors to the big towers, the houses, and, well, that's about it. That's all that's here. Towers and houses. I did get a head start, by the way. Speaking of the snowballs, I do have our little snowball farm over here. I had to move him because he was getting attacked when we were all the way down there. He did end up dying, so this isn't the original snowman for the snowball farm. But I'm going to deck this place out, make it look all nice. I have all these different shelves for the chests full of snowballs. I think I want to start with building an interior for this building here, the big tower. I have an idea of a block palette I want to use that kind of meshes very well with the dark oak floor and the walls here. So we'll have to see what we can do with that. I will go down, grab some resources, and I'll meet you back up here. All right, we got the ender chest loaded up here. Now, here's kind of my plan for the big tower, right? I'm thinking about doing just a big staircase, spiral staircase going up to the top. And I think the center will be the pale oak. So I definitely brought way more pale oak than I needed because here's the scoop, right? I forgot that I had made this on an odd number, right? As one does. I was going to make this a 4x4 pillar because I think 4x4 spiral staircases look way better than a 1x1 or a 3x3 or anything. Like, I genuinely believe that that is the best shape, a 4x4. So I thought about using tough again to kind of match the outside, but I thought it would be much neater if I were to do this instead, okay? I'm going to try and make these staircases wide because I really don't want to be working with a tiny, no good, stinky staircase. I'm also kind of thinking to myself, what am I going to do about the slabs? It's like, do I want the slabs to match? That doesn't look bad, actually. That might be the look. Like, one corner, boom, boom. Well, not that, but... All right, honestly, to keep the flow, that makes the staircase flow very nicely, actually. Wow. All right, we're sticking with that for the rest of the build. Every staircase we're doing from now on is going to have this nice little L. All right, that looks pretty good. It is not a very big staircase. I mean, it is very big. We're definitely going to need some, like, beams of some sort. Some beams. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I might just hang some lanterns as well because it does need... It needs lit up a lot. You know, I'm still definitely going to need more resources, but I might not need as much as I thought because as I go higher, the smaller these rooms actually end up getting. So each level is using a slightly smaller number of resources than the last. All right, the general floor plan is complete for the towers. I just have, again, just one big spiral staircase and each level with a slab floor because slabs are way cheaper than just the full plank. But as you can see, none of these rooms are actually furnished. So that's where you guys come in. I want you guys to be a part of this build with me. So in the comments down below, drop suggestions of what you want each room to become, and I will be picking out my favorites and building them in the episodes to come. Now, not only does it lead to a viewpoint to look at the rest of our beautiful land, but it also goes up to this attic part. Now, this might just be a storage room. Now, I don't think any of the rooms need to have actually any real functionality, mainly because I don't plan on actually living here. This is, again, just for decoration, just to make it look pretty and for the happy guests to live. Same thing with the medium-sized tower. We have just the simple spiral staircase. Now, this is a shorter distance to travel, thankfully, because the building is a bit smaller. But again, let me know what you guys want to see in these rooms down below. I don't think we can do much with this, however, because it is just only one block. Same with this. So we might have to limit to just a few rooms for this tower. Now, there is one building, however, that I did complete sort of an interior for, and that is the snowball farm. I made it look all nice and winter. You guys mind, really? I made it look all nice and wintry. Now I have a place to store all of my snowballs. Now, there is an interior we will actually be completing today, and that is this house right here. Now, I wanted to have a quick and easy functional place to sleep for days like this where I'm not having to fall down and try to fight my way through to make it to my bed. So, for convenience purposes, I'm going to turn this little room into a small house. Maybe this is the groundskeeper for the happy guests. And he lives here to make it easy accessible so he can take care of the happy guests. And so he doesn't have to travel a very long way. So I'm thinking of doing a very, very simple interior. Honestly, something ridiculously simple. Again, just regular bed, which as a matter of fact, I'm actually going to sleep a while. I thought I was going to sleep a while, but again, that is perfectly okay. I think this bookshelf here is going to have a little cake on it. I think that's super nice, super detailed there. And then again, just to add a bit of, you know, pizzazz to it, I think some barrels lying around are a good idea. I think that looks good enough. Maybe I'll get rid of that and just have the 3 barrels here. I was going to put the crafting table right in this corner, but actually I'm going to put it right here in the middle because I actually have a plan for this. So I'm super tired of just having to climb up this mountain every single time. It is very time consuming and it gets very frustrating at times as well. So in this little corner here, I'm actually going to be digging all the way down and making a drop chute full of water. I think right here might be good. It's simple. It's easy accessible. I'm going to put a torch right here. You know, it's kind of hidden too. I actually really like that it is kind of hidden. So we'll see this pole here, which isn't very great. But at least this area here will be nice and discreet. And then we can just float all the way up to the top. What the? You know, I thought I should add a door, so I decided to go a bit industrial with it and add a copper door for extra detail. I'm also making use of these great sea lanterns as well. Now, this will probably be the least discreet part of this whole thing is definitely the giant glass tube ascending from the earth. But other than that, it might actually work. There we go. Look at that. Now we can just fly on up And there we go. Look at that. And now we can safely ascend up to the air temple. Well, friends, that brings us to the end of today's episode. I really, really hope you enjoyed. I loved building this. It is easily one of my favorite builds I've ever done. Again, a reminder, in the comments down below, let me know what rooms you want to see in the two very large towers behind me. And with that being said, you guys have a great day and be safe out there.